What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about my favorite way in the world to hide ugly welds and even good-looking welds on interior projects like railings and anything inside when the details really matter. And we're going to do it using these things. Yeah. I absolutely love anytime we get to do interior projects, and that's because it forces us to focus more on making all of the tiny little details of the project absolutely perfect. When you're doing exterior stuff, there's a lot of things you can kind of get away with or hide. Maybe some welds weren't as pretty, or maybe you did a little too much grinding in one area than you should have, but because it's outside, you don't really notice all of that. But anytime you start to bring any sort of metalwork indoors, say an interior banister railing or anything inside, people immediately notice the details. So what does any of that have to do with these things? Well, these things allow you to hide your welds that you really can't afford to grind off. Now, let's face it, a lot of times you can grind off your welds and keep everything nice and flush, but a lot of times, especially on inside projects, you can't hide those welds. They have to be there to join the things together, and if you grind them off, well, the piece is going to fall apart. Even if your welds are absolutely beautiful, sometimes that weld just looks out of place and you want to hide it. So how do you hide those welds? Now here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So we ordered this really cool welded together scroll work panel, whatever you want to call this component, from King. Came just like this, already welded together. It's beautiful. I mean, we could just stick this on whatever we wanted to and paint it and call it a day. But we're actually going to take this one step further and hide some of these welds. You can see they've already done a lot of grinding on this to make a lot of these welds disappear. But some of these welds, they couldn't do that because you need them for this thing to actually stay together. If you were to grind off that weld, the thing would fall apart, no doubt. So what we're going to do is, even though those welds are beautiful, thank you, King, we're going to hide them with these. So we're going to take our band, and I like to usually go from underneath. That way it keeps the portion that I'm actually working with here, so the end of the band, because that's where we're going to be doing all the bending, that's facing me in some way. So because what we're going to be doing is taking a hammer and actually pounding these down. But before we pound them down with the hammer, we do a little welding here, and I do the tiniest tack possible in an area where it's not going to be seen. So I know we're using this to hide welds, and you're thinking, well, we're actually adding more weld to it. But the reason we have to do some sort of tacking is just to hold this in place. Now, we have in the past gotten away with doing tacking by taking some small C-clamps and actually clamping that around this band and squeezing it in a little bit and then hammering it down. But the reason why I don't like to do that is because the band is still kind of loose. There's nothing keeping it in place. So in transport or in installation, it would be possible for this to get a little loose. And when you're painting this thing, if your paint doesn't get all the way underneath or behind the band, if this is loose, it could scrape the surrounding areas, or you might see that, well, the paint didn't actually get behind the band, and now you have this little portion that hasn't been primed or painted or anything, and you have to do more work touching that up after your install. All right, so now that you've got that secure, whether you've tacked it or just used a C-clamp, that's when we're gonna take our hammer and just sort of gently start tapping those ends over. And I say gently because remember, even if you tack welded this on there, you're just using a small tack, and it would be very easy for this to break off. And that still might happen, but hopefully you can get enough of this tapped over before that happens. All right, so now that you have the ends tapped over, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to realize, hooray, I live in a perfect world and this lined up absolutely perfectly and I don't have to do anything else, or you'll see that, oh, okay, well, now it's overlapping, so now what do I do? So if it is overlapping, the easiest thing to do is just take your angle grinder with a cutoff wheel and just cut off that little end. All right, now I say use a cutoff wheel rather than a grinding wheel because with a cutoff wheel you can get very, very precise and get in there. When you're using a grinding wheel, you have the high risk of hitting the other parts of the component and digging into this material just to try to get off that little nub. And that's it. From here, if you're feeling really frisky and you're really, really good with your welder, you can actually go in and weld that seam of the band. I only recommend doing that if you are really, really good with your technique, and also really, really good with a grinder, because you still might have to go in there and grind a little bit. The best thing to do is, once you have these flush and flat, just leave it alone and let it be. Your paint will probably fill in that seam if you are able to get it nice and tight. And as you can see, adding something like a band around the weld, it just adds a little more texture to the component, and probably not something you're going to see a whole lot of other people doing, because it is an extra step. But when you're doing interior projects, those little extra steps on the details make all of the difference in the world. I cannot stress that enough. If you want to build your name quickly, pay attention and put in the extra work to all those little details. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you like this technique. Again, this is really something that is really, really important when you're doing interior work, is to really, really focus on those details and put in the extra work. I promise you it will pay off for you in the end with more work, better jobs, and happier clients. And there's no reason why you can't do this on exterior stuff too. But if you really want to focus in on those details and hide those welds that are necessary, well, this is a great way to do that. All right, guys, that's it. And I will see you, next time.